I have been running around all morning, kid stuff, chores, gym, errands, and I have like an hour before I have to go back out of the house, and tonight is a super busy night, so I wanted to share one of my favorite easy weeknight meals that takes like maybe 10 minutes to prep, if that, and everyone loves it. It's high protein, it's so good, it's so fresh. As you can see, like it's a disaster over here, so I'm gonna clean up the kitchen really quick and then I'll show you how to make my favorite tuna poke. The first thing I like to do is cut up my toppings for the poke bowls because I want to do that on my cutting board before we put any fish on it. So I just have an English cucumber here and I just cut it in half and then straight down the middle. And then I'm just going to cut these into bite-sized pieces, but they just turn into like little triangles. And then these are like the perfect size to eat with a cube of poke. And even like guacamole is good, tomatoes are good. What else do we do? I just love cucumbers because they're so crunchy and crispy and they're a good contrast to the delicate kind of softer tuna. And I'm just gonna put them in a little container. Next, we'll do some green onions. I like doing maybe like 3 stalks worth, but you can also cut up extra for topping. And fun fact, if you cut off the bottoms of these green onions, you can actually just put these little octopus looking like thingies in some water and they will start sprouting again. So you can make some of your own green onions just in some water. And a little tip with the green onions, instead of just going like all the way through the green onion, I like to just chop them in half and then chop them in half again. And then this is a lot more manageable and it goes a lot quicker when you can just do them all in one big bunch like this. You can set some of these aside for topping if you like, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw them all into the bowl to make the sauce. Now I'm going to make the sauce for our tuna poke. So to the bowl, I have 3 stalks of green onion, and then I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of soy sauce. I like it a little bit extra like saucy, but if you don't like as much, that's fine. I have the full recipe on my website. I just use Kikkoman because that is what I grew up with. So we do Kikkoman soy sauce, about 1/3 cup, but if you like it a little bit extra saucy or a little bit salty, then you can also add in more. To this, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of pure sesame oil, and this Kadoya brand from Japan is the best. This is what I use for everything. Make sure you shake it up whenever you use sesame oil because sometimes it settles on the bottom. So we'll do just about 2 tablespoons and it just smells amazing. To this, I'm adding some fresh ginger. This is fresh ginger that I just put in the blender and then I just put it in a sandwich baggie and I froze it, and as I need it, I just break off a little chunk of what I need, so then I always have fresh ginger on hand. And I like it extra gingery, so I always do a little bit extra, but about 2 teaspoons is what you'll need for this recipe. And if you're in a pinch and you don't have fresh ginger on hand, just use powdered ginger. It's not gonna be the exact same, but it's still good. Speaking of which, I have fresh garlic in my freezer, but I'm just kind of lazy right now and I don't want to go grab it. So I'm just using a little bit of garlic powder. You're going to use about maybe half of a teaspoon, however much you like to have it. You can also just do 1 to 2 cloves if you have fresh. Next, we'll add 1 to 2 teaspoons of sriracha. And if you like it extra spicy, you can add extra, of course. Next, I'm adding a teaspoon of some sesame seeds. I actually like extra sesame seeds as well in mine, so I like to add a little bit extra. And if you like it even spicier, you can do a little bit of crushed red pepper. If you like a really creamy poke, you can also add some Kewpie mayo. It's Japanese mayo to this. And you just mix it all in, maybe like a tablespoon. Next, we need 1 pound of ahi tuna, and these are the ones that I use. I buy them frozen, and then I defrost them in the fridge overnight, and I use about 3 of these, which equals 1 pound. But you can use whatever fish you feel comfortable using, and you can buy it fresh from the butcher, or you can use frozen like me. I like to just cut them open and of course give them a little sniff just to make sure that they don't smell like the packaging has been compromised at all, and you want that to be like fresh smelling. You don't want any fishiness or for it to smell kind of off. If it's off smelling, definitely don't consume it. Got our tuna steaks and I'm just gonna start cutting them up. So these are pretty thick, they're 1 inch thick. So first I like to just go straight down the middle. Make them about 1/2 inch each. Okay, they look great. You can see that the grain is running this way, so I'm just going to cut them up into little cubes against the grain. I like to go about, that was kind of a big piece, but about 1/2 inch, so then they're pretty uniform cubes on all sides. Then you can just twist it like this, 1/2 inch this way. And then you've got these beautiful tuna cubes. So I'm just gonna do that with all of it and then we'll put it in our sauce. Our tuna cubes are done, and I will say that the smaller you cut the cube of tuna, the saltier it's going to taste because it's going to absorb all of that soy sauce. So if you don't like it super salty, make them, like don't make them super teeny tiny and make them a little bit more generous and thicker. Okay, into this we're just going to mix it up, and you can add a little bit more soy sauce if you like. You can add anything else that you want. If you want to slice up some onions really thinly, that would be really good. We just don't like big chunks of onions and my kids don't really love it. You just mix it up until it's all combined. And mine actually looks just a touch dry, so I'm gonna add a little bit of extra soy sauce. Look at that. Our tuna poke looks amazing. It smells so good. I'm going to just cover this, put this in the fridge for a couple of hours, and then we'll be ready to eat. Later, I will just serve this over rice with those cucumbers that we cut up earlier, some more green onions, and some avocado. Finally home, I've got my hot rice, and I'm just going to scoop a bunch of the poke right next to it. And today's one of those nights, like I said earlier, it's super busy. Every single person is eating at a different time. So I got my poke, I like a bunch of cucumbers, and then I like mine spicier, so I add a little extra sriracha, and bon appetit. I forgot, I'm gonna do a little avocado as well. Just slice that right up, and then take a spoon. It does not look super pretty, but I'm so hungry. I'm just like getting home. So there we go. High protein, delicious, fresh, easy. Literally took me 10 minutes to put together. Here is my finished tuna poke. It is so good. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you like this video, make sure you watch this one next, and we'll see you on the next one.